Control as far as corrections deputies, I need an answer today. And if your answer is not to fill, I need to hear those answers. Because right now we have the backgrounds done for the 2 Clovelo deputies. We have the backgrounds done for our 2 animal control officers, that we have a contract with the city of Willits and the city of Fort Bragg to provide animal control, and currently we have 2 animal control officers. And so it was money that had been budgeted for Health and Human Services, and we've of course taken over the animal control portion, and I'm asking for your assistance in allowing me to fill these 2 much needed positions. As far as professional staff or clerical, we have reduced our number by 1, and I don't expect to fill it at least until after the next budget is filled. We've moved a supervisor into the records division, and where she will be doing her job as a supervisor and doing the job as records. So we're trying to work, we're trying to make these things go, but it's a cost of doing business. Mendocino County attracts several special events each year, whether it's a Redwood Run, which is completely reimbursed, whether it's the Sierra Music Festival, which is completely reimbursed, whether it's a Redwood Fair, which is not reimbursed, whether it's the County Fair in Boonville, which is not reimbursed. I ask you as a board for direction on that. And if you want reimbursement from the county fairs and from the Redwood Empire Fair, the direction will go forth, and we'll let the fair managers know that this is your direction on this. These are very important fairs to this county, but on the other hand, we do see increased gang activity, and the law enforcement presence is very necessary. The bottom line is we're trying to reduce costs. And I know that when you have the biggest budget out of general fund, maybe people are expecting the biggest cut and the biggest savings in the general fund. But there's public safety issues that we cannot reduce at all. Public safety is paramount. Public safety is a very, very basic rule of government. I'm here to take your directions. I'm here to be a team player, and I'm here to work with my other department heads. If there's anything the sheriff's office can do, of course we're going to work with them, and of course we're going to do everything we can to make our financial situation better. But there's certain things that cannot be compromised, and public safety is one. So just in closing, we're one county, we're one government, we have one common goal. Providing services to our citizens and properly and responsibly providing the public safety is what our goal is. And I'm proud of the employees, not just Sheriff's Office, but countywide, who understand the need to save money as well as work within the public safety responsibilities. So I know there's some questions on asset seizure, which I'd be happy to take. I think I'm right on schedule here on the line time-wise.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff. We'll start off with questions or comments from board members. Supervisor Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Sheriff, I have a number of questions, and I think a number of sort of multi-layered things, but you definitely are in the right line of work, because you truly believe in public safety, and you are masterful at a political opportunity to absolutely live what you believe. So credit to you for that.
Thank you.
Budget balancing is yet another issue, and that's our job here. So I have notes here on 4 different issues, but you want a direction on the animal control issue and the Covelo deputy issue. So I would like Ms. Angelo to give us some input on this, because my understanding is that filling those positions wouldn't require any revenue enhancements. Those budget line items were transferred to your department so you could carry forth with the function. So the idea, it's news to me that transfer of responsibility equals any additional add-ons. And I'm perplexed as to why you're saying we need we have not addressed the $1.1 million shortfall. That hasn't been addressed in your presentation, or I don't see where it has. You get lots of credit for the things you have done. You have reduced costs, but they're not reflected in the 1.1 million. We're still at that point. But I really need an understanding on this animal care and control issue, because my understanding was it had nothing to do with any budgetary enhancements, at least for this budget year. It was basically the function and the responsibility was transferred to you, so were the line items. So that should be a net zero-sum game on that one.
Supervisor Smith, I agree with you. No money has been transferred. It's my understanding that they're continuing to be paid out of the Health and Human Services Agency, even though they're under the Sheriff's Office. I would be happy for that transfer to occur.
But you're saying that you're asking for additional support from us to fill those positions. So I'd like Ms. Angelo to comment on that, because that's news to me. My understanding is that no new dollars would need to be identified. You took on the function, you got the line item transfer.
The line item transfer did not occur. I have the employees, but no money has transferred to the Sheriff's Office.
But you're
Okay.
not paying them out of your budget unit either.
That's correct.
Right. So then, why are we having the discussion? We don't need to talk about any new positions if we...
They're
if
not
the-
new positions, Supervisor. There were 4 positions allocated, and 2 transfers, 2 employees are now with the Sheriff's Office, 2 out of the 4.
Yeah, but it's because 2 positions are currently vacant. But then she can address the total sum of that budget.
Chairman Pinches, members of the board, I'm Carmel Angelo with the agency, and Supervisor Smith is correct that the positions and the appropriations with those positions, which include salary and benefits, money for uniforms, 3 of the 4 vehicles, maintenance on those vehicles, all the appropriations for animal control now belong to the sheriff. Now, we talked about this earlier today, and what that means is we decided we weren't exactly going to do a transfer of the funds today. However, if Sheriff Ullman wants to fill those positions, the money is there for those positions. So there's, to my knowledge, there's no increased cost with animal control or the 4 animal control officers. What we decided, because it's so close to the end of the year, essentially, that come July 1, the appropriations and the positions will be officially transferred to the Sheriff Department. So there
So
should not be an
currently-
increase in cost.
So the funding is there if it's for 2, or if he can fill the additional 2 positions that are vacant. The funding is there to get us
The
through.
funding is
loan-
there for all 4 positions. The budget is approximately $250,000 annually, yeah. the
So we don't
funding's
need
there.
any further discussion on allocations for those.
Apparently not. We have the backgrounds done. We'll fill those 2 other positions. Is that correct?
Well,
So bring us a total of 4.
that's my understanding. The
Okay.
money's budgeted, it's there, and, but Ms. Glassy is now moving forward. So obviously, there's more information that we don't yet have.
Well, we have another issue in there. We have a hiring freeze too in place,
That's right.
so.
And I think the Covelo deputy issue is yet another one. I mean, if we're talking about you're wanting to add additional costs to an already very desperate budget situation, I don't see how we can be asked to do that at this point. So,
That's why I brought it up, Supervisor.
well, you have the ability to move your staff wherever you need to put them. So I think you can fill the Covelo slots if you so determine that those are a priority.
They are a priority, and the transportation of getting deputies to drive up there each day and the overtime involved will continue to mount.
Well, but that's all within your budgetary discretion if that's how you think money is best spent. If it's not best spent that way, then you can reassign them to Covelo.
Well-
You don't need to pay for that then.
I can, as I said last week, if I'm going to reassign anyone to Covelo, I'll attach a Sonoma County Sheriff's Office application, because they're not going to move there. I've gone to every deputy sheriff in this county and said, does anybody want to move to Covelo? And the answer is no. And I know it's not a democracy situation. However, in the day and age that professional law enforcement officers are a hot commodity, we have some experienced young deputy sheriffs that I don't want to lose. And they know the county, they know the policies and procedures, they know our court system, and they're operating very, very well right now and efficiently. And if we're pushing that envelope, we're going to be saving costs, all right, by having 2 less deputy sheriffs in this county, because they're going to resign and move elsewhere.
Well, we have to cross that bridge when we come to it, but perhaps it wouldn't come to that. I mean, the economic climate has changed for